Hey guys, it's Diza. This video is going to be more about how to deal with phase. The last one had some footage of me kind of playing against phase and using some strategies, but I didn't like fully explain why I was, or like what I was doing, why I was doing things. So this one's going to be more more focused on phase itself. So as you can see there, immediately he gets pressure on me, and instead of me going out to fight him, I just immediately throw down any defense I can. Like I misplaced a block, but as long as you get the first three cactus down, it's usually enough to stop them from just immediately phasing in, which is what a lot of people do is they'll phase to the last block. There I froze him. I was just kind of using different abilities to show how they could be effective in different ways. So there I froze him to just kind of relieve some pressure on myself. And there I was just putting so much pressure. I kept dying, but I was putting so much pressure on him that he couldn't find an opportunity to line up a phase play. And whenever he did go for one, it was so like on the fly that he wasn't able to get the angle in. There he used it to get onto the last island, but then again, I already had defense there, so it gives me as the defender more time to react. There, I just assume he's going through. And then now I have my own pressure, and since he just used phase to get on the last while I had my defense, I still have my ability. Obviously, I died, but I still have pressure here. But since, since he just used his phase, I'll have my ability. And that's another huge thing when playing phase. It's a lot easier in ones because you only have one person to keep track of. But it's really important to keep in your head when they have phase, because a lot of people will hold their phase out before they use it, kind of hinting you that they're about to do it. There I just stopped to get him to panic egg, kind of like a fake from the other side. Also to give myself more time to line up to run in between those cactuses. But yeah, I mean, there's an example of, he had used his phase, so now he doesn't really have a whole lot to help him on defense. So that's kind of the trade-off that phase has. So if you can, if you can hold down the fort on defense when they have pressure, then it makes your life way more easier whenever you do get onto offense because they barely have any help for defense. So yeah, keeping track of the cooldown on the other person is actually really important. There I was breaker, so I got a surprise break on that cactus. He wasn't able to do anything. And that was also a result of him not having a full defense down. I think that defense was interrupted by me earlier in the round. But yeah, keeping track of cooldown is probably the second most important thing behind literally just throwing down any defense you can once they start to get pressure. Like here, I need to put a defense down. I get an egg. I even missed it and was acknowledging it. Fortunately, he wasn't expecting me to misplace it and ran into what I had. And here again, I'm just putting as much pressure onto him as I can. It is risky to do this, as you can see, as he can phase through. But I used my death ball. It would have killed him had he not missed the jump. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so it is risky to join them on the island, but if you have enough, trust in your defense and your ability, whatever you are using on defense, then it does give you a little bit of space. And yeah, here I'm just keeping pressure on him. It is it is ticking down his cooldown, but it's also ticking down mine, so I'm not super opposed to just stalling there. That cactus despawned, and I think it kind of faked him out a little bit. Because he went to go for it. Here, I'm just trying to stop him from making progress to my last. Because that's the easiest way for him to get an easy score with phase. There, I didn't even really fake him. Since he was placing his defense, he didn't see me fake him, so there was no point in me trying to double back. There, that was actually a pretty good phase, because he might have died. Here again, getting my double defense down. It's just practicing that movement is pretty important. Here we're kind of in a stalemate. We don't have a whole lot of room to move. There's only 2 cacti that can be placed. Here he's driving up. And fortunately for me, he runs into a cactus, but you can't bank on that. I think he might have read what I was trying to do there. I was going to jump diagonally across those. Once again, I feel like his phase could definitely be a possibility there. So I just, have to throw it on defense. That's just the main thing that I see. People who struggle with phase is they just don't get a defense down fast enough so the person can just completely phase past them and they have nothing stopping them. It just gives them a bit more of a struggle to get through your defense, and it also gives you a slight opportunity to join them on the island and do something like that. And see there, if he hadn't immediately run into the cactus, I could have deathballed him. Then we got Murmur, backseat gaming, as usual. That was kind of me lining up that jump, but it also doubled as a fake. In here, I've disrupted his defensive placement. He gets a nice egg on me to kind of reset pressure. I'm still up to mid first. And now I'm on his pad. Realize he's going right. I go left. And now I get here before he can place his defense. Of course he hits the egg on me because it's cat. He's going to hit that egg. But it's worth going, it's like worth a shot to go for. Yeah, I'm just trying to limit his opportunities. I mean, I've kind of sabotaged my future self, but I was able to work with it. There, I mean, he's blocking off his side, so I can just kind of block him off and go to the other side. I just opt to go for the back of the island because it's a little bit safer. If I try to jump for the front corner, then he could very easily just place a cactus from his spawn. Here, he's probably going to use phase. I can see it in his hand. I get absolutely launched as I try to jump forwards to dodge it. Dodge the egg that he was going to throw after he phased, but it just kind of amplified my launch speed. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you get used to dealing with phase after a while. And my main suggestion is just to practice, being conscious of the phase cooldowns and placing defense quickly. And I don't even think that only applies to phase. I think placing defense is almost always the way to go. If they're far enough away, you can go and counter them first if you trust in your abilities to place it if they do push through you. But especially against phase, it's, best to just immediately get it down. It's not important enough to do it before the round starts or to be willing to give up mid pressure at the start of a round just to, pre-place a defense. But it's definitely the thing that should be at the top of your priorities when I completely cleared that cactus, which is a pretty rare thing. It was on accident. But anyways, I hope that helps a little bit. If you guys have any questions about phase, ask me in the comments or in the Discord. The link is in the description. If you have any more specific requests about how to deal with phase or really any abilities, if you have any video ideas or suggestions, just let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys next time.